Bowen Family Therapy is designed to help family members decrease emotional turmoil, which is often caused by multigenerational factors. This mock therapy video features the Clarkson family who seek counseling because of an increasingly strained relationship between the parents, Suzanne and Eddie. Their daughter Lena plays a triangulated role in the family, meaning that she helps diffuse the tension between her parents. Lena is engaged to be married and will soon leave home, increasing pressure on the family, and there is also a hostile relationship between Eddie and his son Kurt. The most important construct of Bowen Family Therapy is the Genogram, a powerful tool that conveys significant dynamics across generations, which is why the model is also called intergenerational family therapy. This diagram represents the Clarkson family genogram, and here are some of the prominent symbols, so pause the video as needed to review. The family consists of Eddie, Suzanne, Lena, Kurt, and in a later session, we'll meet Sally, Suzanne's mother. As we observe family dynamics, we'll see the emotional fusion between father and son, but we'll also learn of the closeness and positive impact of Eddie's relationship with his mother. His brother Jim and Eddie's divorce at an early age will also become factors in the therapy process. Bowen Family Therapy incorporates a systems approach to counseling which views the individual's behavior as inseparable from the functioning of his or her family of origin. The model consists of 3 broad stages: construction of the genogram, assessment, and differentiation. In phase 1 of this video, family members will discuss their impressions of the genogram as well as key intergenerational problems. In the assessment phase, we'll observe the triangulation process in which a third person, Lena, diffuses the tension between 2 individuals, Eddie and Suzanne. Also in this phase, Eddie and Kurt demonstrate emotional fusion or absence of boundaries in their relationship. Through therapy, the Clarkson family seeks differentiation, or the capacity to better manage one's own connection to and independence from one's family of origin and other close relationships. The goal here is to be less emotionally reactive in relationships, and to help the family reach these goals, Dr. Chege will use differentiation techniques such as detriangulation, in which he'll help Lena begin to dissolve her dysfunctional triangle and reduce tension between Eddie and Suzanne, and use process questions to bring intergenerational dynamics such as strictness into the open. We meet the Clarksons and Dr. Chege in their second therapy session. The Clarksons have spent the past week constructing their family genogram, and after reviewing it, Dr. Chege discusses the genogram with family members.
Welcome, and it's good to have everyone here today. I noticed some very interesting things when looking at the genogram you all constructed, and I would like us to go over that. Who would like to go first?
Well, I'll go first. We did the genogram, and I thought it looked perfectly normal. You know, we're the normal American family. I didn't see anything different or out of the ordinary. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I mean, I did notice that there was divorce on both sides of the family. Yeah.
Well, I think what Mom's trying to say is that divorce it's on both sides, but we also, as Dad mentioned, recognize that it's also kind of normal in America now to get divorced, so we still are kind of, the American family.
Well, the thing that stood out to me in the genogram was my uncle. He's always pretty drunk, and it's really funny.
Hey, that's your uncle. That's my brother. You don't know where he's been. He's gone through a lot in his recovery.
Well, let's talk about how working on the genogram has made you more aware about the problems that bring you to therapy?
When I looked at the genogram, it made me think about my mother and my father. My father was the authority in the family. He was a pretty strict guy. None of my brothers or sisters, we couldn't really get away with anything. You know, he was on it. So there was no messing around. He had the final word. My mom, on the other hand, she was kind of like the peacekeeper. And everybody loved her. Sweet personality. I still love her to this day. She's just a joy to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was really hard on me and my mom when Dad left. Mom was really depressed, and it was a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that a lot. Like, my mom, she's really, really struggled with this. And I'm
wondering if, Suzanne, you could finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I was really close with my dad, really close. But it's just been so long since I've spoken with him.
I mean, I didn't even know my grandpa. There has been a lot of strictness in the family, though, and it just seems like everybody gets angry all the time, and there's things we can't even talk about. And I've wanted to talk about some stuff, but
And strict is such a strong word. You used it, Dad used it. I'd like us to keep that in mind. And Lena, I've noticed that you tend to talk a lot for your parents. And I can't imagine how burdensome that must be. Let's talk a bit about what led to that role.
okay, well, I think the one moment that I distinctly remember is it was either 8th grade, freshman year of high school, and I came home from school as always, and for whatever reason, Dad was there, and I walked into the house and I heard words and yelling and just things that I had really never heard, and felt like someone had to step in. It was just this feeling I had to do it, and I guess that's the moment where I realized someone had to.
Yeah, I remember that fight like it was yesterday. I had been feeling like some of the issues with Eddie and his last marriage and the divorce and everything that happened with that were kind of interfering with our lives, with our marriage. There were places where he was getting scared and holding back and not willing to talk, and I wanted to help him. I wanted to help us. So I went to him to talk to him about it, and he just reacted. He got so angry. It was clear that was a no-go. We weren't going to have that conversation. And then I got really angry because I felt like he didn't care about us, like this needed to be talked about. And it became this huge fight, and then it became like a weapon in our marriage between us. It was something that would be brought up as something to hurt the other person.
I can't believe we're talking about this. This just won't go away. It was so long ago.
Kurt? I noticed you shook your head considerably. Can you say what that's about?
well, I just like to stay out of this family drama. I got a decent job working at this one company. I mean, I think I could, eventually move out of the house one day and everything. So I just like to come home, relax, and, play video games and just get lost. I mean, I have this one game I've been playing a lot lately, and it's called Bloodborne. And it's really cool because you just, go around
Oh,
and,
come on! These video games are a waste of time. This is not a productive use of your time.
How would you know? What is wrong with video games, alright? Like, they're popular with everybody. They're a fun way to, like, relax and everything. What's the difference between that and sports? Like, really?
Sports and video games are entirely different. Video games are a waste of time. They take too much of your time, Kurt.
May I interrupt here a little bit? I'm wondering if we can relax some of the strictness here so that everyone can get their voice in and say what they need to say.
In closing, Dr. Chege sets a path for future sessions by urging the family to relax the strictness among its members. Note that he doesn't blame anyone and asks for buy-in from all family members before moving forward. Over the course of therapy, he also encourages Eddie and Suzanne to communicate more directly with one another, which may decrease Lena's feelings of responsibility for keeping her parents together. In session 6, Suzanne's mother Sally is invited to therapy with the Clarksons, and we immediately get a feel for her deep woundedness and emotional cutoff. This makes it easier to understand some of Suzanne's relational challenges on an intergenerational level.
Your father wasn't there.
Mom, didn't he come later? I mean,
He never came. He never came, and he never attended. I can't believe you even would bring that up.
I mean, he wasn't that bad, Mom. He was around. I mean,
How can you... Do not even go there with me. Do not.
Okay, it's fine.
Can you believe she just said that? Do not ever go there with me again.
Okay.
You know better.
Okay.
Sally's emotional cutoff, as well as that of Suzanne's, is highlighted on the family genogram. And Dr. Chege will keep this in mind as he works towards differentiation with Suzanne, Eddie, Kurt, and Lena. As we check in with the Clarksons at the end of their therapy journey, we get a sense of some of the important work they've done and how the process of differentiation has impacted their lives. Note Lena's reflection on her feelings of emptiness as a result of the detriangulation process and her plans to seek individual therapy to explore this further.
And I must say that I'm very impressed with the progress that you all have made as a family and the hard work you put into the sessions. You gained so much, and I would like everyone to say how they're going to use the knowledge that they have gained from the sessions.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, actually. I feel like my part in the family and just my relationship with Dad overall has been a lot better. It's funny because I've noticed him kind of, watching me as I play video games sometimes, whether he'll admit it or not. And, I feel like maybe sometime he might actually try to play with me if I can get him to.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm so glad that Kurt and Dad seem to be getting along better, and obviously my parents are communicating more, and that's great, but it's almost like I feel kind of empty because I was, feeling like I had power and a voice in the family, and it's almost like I've lost that. So I think it's been good for the family, but for myself, looking forward, I guess I'm just wondering about my own life and my future marriage, and just thinking about doing some work on my own.
Yeah, it's been helpful for sure. I think things are better. We still have work to do, though. But it's been good. I know that I'm thinking about divorce a lot less. I mean, that just hasn't come to my mind at all.
It's been harder for me. I think back to when we first met as a family here, and how we mapped out the family relationships that are here and where we came from, and I've given it a lot of thought. I thought about how my dad was, and I thought about how my mom was, and I'm considering what I took from my dad, and maybe what I can take from my mom. I'm still working on it, though.
Wow, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. You've all made tremendous progress. You've come a long way. And I would really like to encourage you all to continue to talk with each other, spend time with each other, and solve problems as they arise.